So we're out here in La Crescenta, Montrose area in Los Angeles, and today we're looking at grass. So out here you can see the grade in the yard here is kind of all over the place, right? We got lumps all over, we got different kinds of grass, we got clovers growing in, so it's kind of green, but they're going to get fried soon. You know, so we got all sorts of problems going on up here. They don't actually have an automatic irrigation system up here. They got one of these guys, you know, which is just not very efficient. You got to turn it on yourself and stuff. So what we want to do here is we're going to take out all the weeds and all the grass. You know, take out all the roots down a couple inches, really. You know, so get down there a little bit so we can get all this crap out of here. Regrade it kind of perfectly. It's going to be on a similar grade to how it is right now. It's just all graded nicely away from the house. You know, we don't want to bring this level down and then have water sit up against here or anything like that. You know, so it's going to be on a similar grade, but it's not going to be all lumpy and all over the place, right? You could even see that little section right there. It's just so obvious. It's just tacky, you know. And things like this happen for many reasons. You know, first off, it might not have been installed very well in the first place. It could also happen because gophers are running around, or they were running around 5 years ago. They made a bunch of mounds and then the grass grew on top of that. It can also be for sods like St. Augustine and other ones that get really thick. Look at that. Oh wow, look at that. This is actually grass. It's actually grass all the way through. So it's not even dirt that's pulling this up, it's grass. It's unthatched St. Augustine or similar grass here, you know. So it just needs a refresh. It hasn't been upkept how it should have been upkept and kind of thatched out year by year or every couple of years to keep it at the same level. So we're going to do a new sod. Beneath all our sod, we do a thin layer of fresh topsoil. I don't care if they did new grass recently or not. We want to get some fresh topsoil beneath there so the grass roots very nicely and grows quickly, honestly. Most grasses are going to take, you know, just 2 to 3 weeks to start getting rooted, right? And they should be fully rooted around 4 to 6 weeks or so, and they should be pretty strong by then. Generally, you want to keep your dogs and kids or like heavy foot traffic off a brand new sod for quite a while, at least 2 to 3 weeks. You know, wait like a month for people to start running around on it because it just needs to get rooted. You know, you imagine you just throw a living thing on the ground and you kick it around, and it's just until it gets rooted and it starts growing again, it's not going to be very happy with a bunch of foot traffic, you know. So, and then one thing we generally don't do actually is seed, grass seed. So you prep it with fresh topsoil and fertilizer, and then you place the grass seed in there. And you know, some people have had success with it. We just don't like doing it because, first off, we're not going to warranty it at all because there are just so many problems that can happen with it. You know, you can get raccoons in here digging things up around, and all sorts of things can happen with grass seed. If it's summer and it's hot, the fresh, brand new grass doesn't want to grow out. So we really like sticking to our sods. You know, there are many different sods out there. There are your different brands of Marathon sod, and Marathon is it's called Marathon because it keeps going, meaning it stays green year round, which is always nice. It can get a little bit fried sometimes in the summertime, so a little bit yellowy in the summertime, but Marathon grasses are very useful. There's a grass called RTF, which we're using a lot. It's a fescue. It's also a year-round green, but it also likes to patch itself a lot. And so if you get a little patch, you don't really have to reseed. It might literally regrow in that little area. So if you have big dogs and stuff, RTF is great. St. Augustine is also another grass that's very good for dogs and kids and stuff, and heavy foot traffic and playing soccer and all sorts of stuff. It's very strong, and it grows on top of itself, like you just saw there. If you don't upkeep it, this is what a St. Augustine type grass can turn into. Although again, it does pretty well. You know, a lot of the reason that we have a few issues here is most likely because of the watering system up here. We're going to get in an automatic, you know, Rainbird spray system up here. You know, they have their old galvanized sprinklers and stuff. We're going to go all PVC, just all plastic instead of that this year. So you have your St. Augustine. Now, St. Augustine will go somewhat dormant in the winter, so it can go a little bit yellowy brown to like a full yellow brown in the winter, and it actually comes right back. You know, it'll kind of come to this. This is all fried though. This is all mostly because of watering here. So St. Augustine will get a little yellow in the winter. The RTF and the Marathon might get a little yellowy in the summer from too much heat. So the RTFs and the Marathons don't go dormant, right? St. Augustine goes dormant. Bermuda is another grass that goes dormant. It's kind of like the really thin, kind of spongy, nice to the walk-on type grass, the Bermuda. It's very invasive, just like the St. Augustine, but it's a very different kind of grass. We don't use it entirely too often. Main reason being is because people will bring in, like gardeners and maintenance guys will bring in lawnmowers to mow your lawn. They'll actually bring in seeds from other types of grasses like St. Augustine, which is really kind of ridiculously invasive. And the issue is Bermuda is such a unique, thin, bladed, fine grass that if you bring in a St. Augustine or an RTF type grass and it gets spread out throughout that with the seeds from the lawnmowers, now you have big patches of a completely different looking type of grass on your lawn. So that's one reason I stick away from Bermuda sometimes, is because of that. But if you want it, you can have it, you know, that's fine. Bermuda is another good grass that's good for dogs and dog urine and stuff like this. It doesn't get all crazy yellowy and damaged from stuff like that. But really, the one we're looking at using more than almost any other kind of grass, because it stays green pretty much year round and because it patches itself pretty well, is the RTF, the fescue. That's just what we're looking at, and we like using it. Pretty much everybody who's wanting St. Augustine right now, I say let's do this, and they love it. Pretty much everybody who also wants Marathon right now, I say let's do the RTF, and they love it. So, you know, that's one we're looking at. But again, if you have something in mind that you really like, we can always do that. That's totally fine. But let's stick with sods. I don't want to do any seeds. And so we'll see in the next video for our grass. You know, a brand new lawn here with an automatic sprinkler system. And yeah, that's it for our grass video.